Okay, it's Saturday. It'll soon be midnight, December 13th. So we're going to look at the gold and silver miners and then probably take a brief, brief look at gold and silver, which I've already covered in prior video, but hey, why not? So, start with Agnico Eagle Mine. So that actually saw a spike high in October of 187. Currently 168, net lower on the month, but it's mostly because of what happened on Friday. RSI 80 is overbought, but look at it. You could have you could have argued it was overbought in January, right? It was 90 bucks. It has doubled since January. So this is a problem. If you get overly obsessive about, well, it's overbought or oversold, it's been overbought for the entire year. It's a great example. Now, could it keep going up for another year? That won't be easy. But look, absolutely short, midterm, long term bullish, unless it goes under the 10 MA. That's currently 139, but it's that'll be 150 probably in January, 160 in February. But yeah, it's a great miner. Look at that, $41, 2023. Nobody cared about it. And look at that, marginally higher low, and then off it went. Look at this here. 3 or 4 months of choppy price action, and off we go. Again, you got to expect sporadic down months. Anyway, moving on. First Majestic Silver. Yeah, look at that breakout. Look at the November candle. The November candle is hyper bullish engulfing with a massive floor spike, and of course we broke a new high. It's 1594. What's the next resistance? Arguably, the natural target would be the what is that? The February 2021 23. So it's about what? It's about $7 upside on this just to charge the 21s. And what was silver in February of 21? I'm actually gonna check. So I want to be precise. Silver was $30 then. 30. Isn't that interesting? Silver was 30 and First Majestic was 23. Silver is now 60 odd. And First Majestic's 1594. That I mean, people like Peter Schiff, he's not the only one, there's plenty out there, are right to note that the miners, relative to gold and silver, are still lagging. And yeah, look, First Majestic's had a hell of a year, right? Fours to the 17s, literally just days ago. But ain't even near 23. And yeah, it's overbought, 76, but again, that could continue for a lot of next year. I like it. It's not my favorite silver miner though. Oh yeah, Anglo Gold Ashanti. I mean, it's a bit lower the sector, but again, midterm bullish. Skipping right on. Barrick Mining. I almost said Barrick Gold, but no, ticker is B. So, notably, Barrick Gold broke a new historic high this month. Finally, took how many years did it take? Yeah, it finally broke above 2011 high. That was, again, this is another example. In 2011, gold was 1900. 1900 and Barrick was 43. Now Barrick is back to 43 and gold is 4300. Why would you not think Barrick gold shouldn't be near 100? I mean, to me it should, but that's the market. The market is what it is. Anyway, bullish, right? I mean, it's a good miner. Of course, this is the company where the CEO mysteriously walked away some months ago. Never heard anything more about it. He just one day he just He just went away. Who knows why? I will say there is. I did read some weeks ago. There is background chatter that Barrick Mining may split into two companies. I forget what the districts were. Maybe one was North America and the other one was Africa. I forget. But anyway, yeah, that was one of the little bits of chatter out there. Maybe it will split in two. Maybe that was one reason why the CEO walked away because he disagreed with that idea. Maybe. Anyway, it's a good miner. For mining, CDE. I mean, look at this. This is this has been this has been pain for almost 20 years. 20 years of pain. I mean, it's been a survivor. I mean, look at it. $2. $2 in late 23. 23 bucks in October. Cools back to 13. A $10 drop in a handful of weeks. Now back to 17. What is the natural target? 34. 34 is 100% higher. And you can argue multi-month structure is a bull flag. It's a bit of a wild one because you have two spikes both sides. But it's another one of those mining stocks that look back in 2011 when silver was 49, core mining was 37, and it's now 17. This miner is undervalued relative to where it was. Doesn't mean it's going to go up, but it is midterm bullish from the falls. I do not, for the record, I do not like it. I think there are just better miners out there. I know some people that own it, but I don't think I ever have. No, I think I ever had. No. Moving on, Endeavor Silver. I know a few people own this one. EXK. Yeah, it's. I mean, look, it's one of the more wild silver miners. You can easily have a 10% move in this one, on a regular basis. So it's down 9.5% on the month. 8.98. Look at this. This was $1.42. Just recently 10.37. And back in 2011 when silver was 49, this was 13. What should it really be right now? $20, 25? Again, I'm not a fan of it though. There's better silver miners out there, but I can understand people owning it. Franco Nevada. Yeah, big boring Franco. It's a royalty miner more than anything else. Um, yeah, midterm bullish. Goldfields. Ah, yes. And we look at it, up 1.4%. Again, it's one of those few miners where actually relative to when gold was 1900 in 2011, this one was 1195. Now it's 47. Well, 47 down to 43. And in theory, it's got to take that high, right? Pretty good miner, although it's not my favorite. Ah, Heckler Mining. Look at that, new historic high. Wow, up 11.8% on the month, $18. Yeah, look at that. Massive floor in the threes and then the fours. Then the breakout was in, what's that, September, right? Yeah. Breakout in September. October, a little bit wild. November was a bullish engulfing candle. I mean, look, if you think, one question would be, if you think silver's eventually going to be $100, which isn't a stretch next Q1, what should this be? If silver's another, what, relative to the current 60 odd price, if silver's another 70, 80% higher, what should this be? Like $30? But anyway, it's clearly midterm bullish. It's a good miner. Harmony Gold. I'm not very well versed in this one, but look at that, 47 cents. That was when there was a massive commodity washout, late 2015, early 2016. Quite a few years of just pain. But broadly going up with the sector. Not my favorite miner. It's actually been lagging in the sector for quite a while. Do note though that you can see, it's a good example of the stock finding support around the 10 of May. You see here, here. Had a little brief, little fake out there, but still bullish with the sector. Kinross Gold, KGC. Well, look at that. New historic high of 29s. Again, RSI 86 is overbought, but hey, absolutely short, mid, long term bullish from the twos in 2022. No, nobody wanted it, Dan. Another one where the November candle was bullish engulfing. You should ask yourself the question: if gold is 5K, what is Kinross? My guess would be 40. $40 is about what? It's another 37, 38% up. Newmont, which is arguably the best gold miner in the world. And it's up 8.2% on the month, near historic high. Printed 102 on, is either Thursday or Friday. I forget which, but hey. Midterm bullish. If you believe gold's going to go to 5K sometime in Q1, this should be around 125 at least. Good miner. Again, from a corporate perspective, it is the best gold miner in the world. Now here's the best silver miner in the world, at least that I'm aware of. So yeah, Pan American up 8.9%, new historic high. Again, look at that candle for November, bullish engulfing candle. Look at the 2011 high. Back when silver was 49, Pan American was 32. It's 49, which is appropriate. This is what we should be seeing in more of the miners, but we're not yet. Again, 49. If you think silver's going to be $100 sometime, then maybe this will be, my guess would be 75 to 80. Yeah, best of the silver miners. Royal Gold is another royalty miner. I don't particularly care for it, but it's up 7% on the month, near historic high. Yes, SSR mining. They had a mining disaster, and I think it was in Turkey. But interesting note below, it floored in the freeze. You can argue that multi-month structure is a bull flag. Not a fan, but it is bullish with a sector. And finally, I think this is the last one of my list. Yeah. Wheaton Precious Metals, WPM, appropriately near historic high up 7%, 6.8% on the month. So back in 2011, when silver was 49, it was 39s, and this is 117. So it's almost triple. Again, this one's a weird company. It's more of a trading company than anything. It doesn't actually have any mines itself. Not a fan, but it is what it is. All right, I was gonna look at um take a brief look at gold and silver, but I wanted to do it on a monthly chart. My weekly charts are on my subscriber blog. I'm not gonna duplicate things. Starting with gold, I mean, look at it. What a run! And I know will be people saying, "Look, October candle's a bit spiky, right? That's a little bit of a concern." But you had a few. I thought this was a real problem for gold. We had four spiky candles, but in August closed strong, and then September powered up. And that's when I'm like, okay, you have to be got to be long again. October's new historic high. Again, RSI is 92, but it can remain. Look at this. It's been overbought since what? early 24 when gold was around 2200. So you could have argued gold is overbought at 2200. Yeah, it was. And now it's 42.97. It's $2,000 higher. And you can still argue, okay, it's even more overbought. Well, does that mean we can't hit 5K in Q1? I think 5K in Q1 is pretty likely, frankly. It would make for an interesting short-term top as well. But even then, it's like you'd have to be crazy to try and short gold or silver. It's an incredible thing. And long term, we know where this is going, don't we? 5K, 10K, 20K. It's just a matter of when. And silver. Look at that. Look at that. Look at actually 2011 isn't even on this chart. We'll forget about that. COVID low 1164 bounced to 29. A lot of chop, a lot of painful chop. 3 or 4 years of pain. Just frustrating. And it just started leaning up. And here we go. This was the breakout this summer. And off we go. And you could argue, look, that candle's a little bit spiky, but one, the month is not finished. And you can argue, yep, RSI 87, it's overbought, but yeah, you could look if you project out, you could easily think we're going to be bullish into March, April. In which case, where's silver going to be down? I mean, my guess, and I said it a few weeks ago, I think we're going to see 70 to 75 by mid-January, which is a trade I want to be part of right now, which is why I've been trading silver long. So I want to be on that train broadly, not all the time. I'll dance in and out of silver whenever the mood takes me. But 70, 75 in by mid-January. And there's some people out there, you can call them crazy kooks if you want, but there's a few people out there who think we could even see $100 by end of January. I think that's unlikely, but 70, 75 looks pretty straightforward right now. I could certainly see 100 within Q1, probably not until February or March. But again, this is all small moves, even on this monthly chart. If I could drag it back 45 years to 1980, it's like, look, the breakout above $50 is what matters. Nothing else matters. And after a 45-year breakout, we're talking about the implications in terms of upside and in terms of the time span. We're talking many years, and we're talking multiples of the original breakout threshold of 49 or 50, depending on how you look at it. We're talking hundreds of dollars, right? On a probably 2000. My time frame would be 2030, 32. I think I saw another person in the last day or two talking about silver to 1,000, which of course is crazy talk. But when you think about what they're doing now at the Fed, remember the Fed only just ended the QT program, right? Literally, they ended QT, and now we're back at QE, and it is QE. The Fed are printing $40 billion a month to buy T bonds, which will actually help pressure bond yields down, which is what a lot of people want. But you think about that, $480 billion of QE. That is just to maintain the balance sheet relative to inflation. That's incredible, really, when you think about it. And next, the question you should be asking: how long until they increase the amount of QE from 40 billion to probably what 60, maybe 75? And why would anyone actually not think that once Trump's replacement comes in, whoever that might be, doesn't really matter in my view particularly. How long until that person or maybe the word lackey should be used, until they raise QE to 100 billion a month. And the implications for gold, silver, copper, equities, house prices. If you're worried about inflation, and you should be, all this QE, it's going to juice asset prices. Don't overthink it. Look at that. 62.0. So yeah, 62.01 was the official close for via the stock charts computer. Um, I'm short-term bearish silver for Monday, possibly into Tuesday, but I want to get back on that train. No later than probably Tuesday morning. But anyway, that's all short-term stuff. Broadly bullish silver until the end of I don't know, 2032. Anything else? I guess maybe I could look at a few year-to-date things for the miners. Actually, we'll look at this. This is the year-to-date for a few things. Silver's up 114% on the year. Gold's up 63. Copper 32. S&P up 16. It's a respectable gain on the year for the S&P. Bonds are up 4. Oil's down almost 20%, which of course is a very bullish thing for the US economy, right? Everything is transported one way or another. So cheap oil is one hell of a bullish thing. All right, let's go look at the miners. I've got actually got 3 sets of miners. We'll just look at the first ones, first two. Wow. Wow. What's that? Anglo Gold Ashanti up 277%. Barrick mining up 183%. Newmont up 168% on the year. Agnico Eagle up 117. Wheaton Precious Metals 110, and lagging Franco Nevada up 84. And the other set of miners are the silver ones. Well, most of them are silver. What do we got? The purple one is what? Heckler. Little Heckler's up 283%. And all of these are kind of overlapping, but what do we got? Just read down the list. Kinross 207, Pan American up 150, EXK up 145, and Core Mining up 201%. Again, my favorite silver miner is Pan American. And then the next one would be, I guess it'd be First Majestic and then Heckler. Kinross, of course, is a gold miner. What chart should I end up with? I am. I guess I'll just, despite what I said, look, Friday drop, short-term structures a bear flag on silver. In theory, silver print a lower low on Monday. It might drag into Tuesday when we have the jobs data, but either way, I am looking to buy somewhere around, in terms of SLV, around mid to low 54s would be fine. Anything, anything in the 53s, and I'll be very pleased. Because I sold around that 56, 70-ish. But yeah, that looks to be a acceptable, a pretty good re-entry. This looks out of range. Unless you believe the S&P is going to drop at least 2 to 3% into OPEX, which I don't see. That orange gap looks like a breakaway gap, and it is. You see, look at the way it did that. There was the old resistance at 48.70. It just jumped straight over it and just kept going, and then it's consolidated and a new high, and now it's just seeing arguably some kind of B wave down, C wave down here, and for Monday or maybe stretching into early Tuesday. In theory, only Monday, but we'll see. Anyway, I should end it there. Um, got to be bullish the miners, right? God help anybody trying to short silver or gold or the miners. Why would they do that? I mean, that would be the dumbest trade. Like, I actually said this in the summer. I said something to watch for, right? When silver breaks above $50, right? You can just think about who is stupid enough to try and short silver after a 45-year breakout, because they'll be doing it. There'll be people trying to short silver all the way to 100. It's like why would you do that, right? I don't have a time machine, but I know that I should not be shorting silver under any circumstance after a 45-year breakout. I guess it takes all types, all right, to make a market. I'll just keep hitting the long button over and over again for the next, in theory, 5 to 7 years. Anyway, we'll end it there. Be good.